All right, everyone, this is going to be the first of two videos for your Tinkercad skills on day one. In this first video, we're going to learn how to add new objects to the work plane and move them around the work plane, how to select multiple objects, then how to lock and use the lock and hide buttons for those objects. So let's go into Tinkercad. Again, I'm doing this on a computer, but your iPad is going to look exactly the same. So again, this here's my work plane, and this work plane right now is 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters, which is exactly the same size of our 3D printer beds. So anything that you design, as long as it fits on this work plane, it should be able to fit on the 3D printers. So again, over here we have all these shapes, and this, there's different sort of categories. I'm just going to stick to the basic shapes for now. Two ways you can do this. You can either click on one with your finger and drag it to the work plane. Otherwise, if you just click on it and then click again on the work plane, it will also bring it to the work plane for you. All right. As you're sort of moving these things around, you just click on the object and you move it around. Notice that if you're sort of zoomed out, it can be kind of hard to move things. So you really want to zoom in, because as you move them, you want to click on the object itself. You don't want to be clicking on these sort of white squares, because that's going to resize it. So click on the object and move it around. If you want to click on more than one object, it's pretty simple. You just click on one, and then you just click on another one, and it's going to select both of those objects. You can then sort of move them together. If you want to unselect them, just click somewhere else on the work plane, and they become unselected. All right, so if you have a few different things on here, again, if you just click one of them, you move that one. If you then have that selected and you click the other objects, it's going to select everything that you click. You can sort of move them together. And again, if you want to undo that, just sort of click somewhere else on the work plane. You'll notice that when I do click on an object, this little inspector menu pops up. So every object can be both a solid and a hole. So right now it's a solid. If I click on hole, it gets grayed out and it becomes sort of a hole shape. And depending on the object that you have, there's a few other things that you can change as well. So we have colors. We can make this any color we want. We can also make it transparent, which is kind of cool if you want to do that. And looking down here, so again, for the cylinder, we have sides, bevels, and segments. Notice that you can see the sort of the ridges on the sides. I highly recommend whenever you have a cylinder shape, you always move the sides all the way over to make it nice and smooth. If you click on the sphere, it only has the color and the steps, which you can sort of change. The box has different things as well, and then each of these have their own sort of unique properties. All right. Also, when you click on these, you'll notice up here we have a little lock icon, which is the lock editing. We have a little light bulb as well, which is hide selected. So if you were editing something, if you want to temporarily hide that model and work on something else, you can do that. So if I want to hide my box, I would click on this little light bulb and it disappears. So it's still there, it's not deleted. All I need to do is click on my light bulb again, and that box shape is going to reappear. Likewise, say I wanted to, combine this sphere with this box shape, and I want this box to sort of stay where it is and just move the sphere. I can click on this box, click on the lock icon, and now once I do that, I cannot move this anymore. It's sort of frozen in place, so I can only move the sphere object. And when I'm ready to unlock that, I just click on the lock again, and now it's free to move that object once again. So this is your sort of beginner video. Again, just sort of adding objects to it, moving things around, looking over here at the inspector menu, changing the color, making objects holes or solids, and then looking at some of these sort of unique properties for each of those shapes. And lastly, again, just sort of selecting more than one. You just click on one, then you click on the other ones, and it allows you to select multiple objects. All right, that's it for the first video. Thank you.